Good morning from Dublin. We are here at the Sport Island National Aquatic Centre for the 2018 World Paraswimming Allianz European Championships. It's day 3 of action here in Dublin. My name's Paul Noble. I'll be taking you through the swim this morning in this heat session. Alongside me, as always, Liz Johnson.
Morning, Paul. Morning, everyone.
Morning, Liz. We've had some great action in the first 2 days of competition. Some really, really close races, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been treated some exceptional racing, some really close head-to-head, some world records, and I'm sure we're in for more of the same today.
I've seen some emerging youngsters come through, and also some old hands as well pick up some European titles. More on offer today, and we have the heat sessions where these swimmers trying to make their way into the finals this evening. Ukraine and Italy top the medal table on the first 2 days of competition, and here's what we've got in store for this morning's heat session. Start off with the S11 class, swimmers with no vision at all. We have the 400 freestyle, so a lot can happen in those S11 events. They all wear blacked out goggles. Men's 100 breaststroke and women's 100 breaststroke SB5 follow them. Move through the distances, we have individual medley swims as well. A lot of breaststroke this morning, so you'll enjoy them, Liz.
Yeah, lots of breaststroke, lots of exciting races, lots of potential for people to really make their mark ahead of the finals this evening.
100 butterfly events conclude the session this morning for the S9 men, so that is what we are going to have in store for you today. Here's what the arena looks like here in Dublin. Really done it out really well, haven't they?
Yep, it's an incredible venue, great support, and it's proving to be a very fast swimming pool.
Well, we've seen lots of Irish support for the home swimmers. A real chance for a medal today for Ireland to get on the medal podium.
Yep, that 100 metres breaststroke later in the programme gives Nicole Turner, the teenager, a chance to gain that first medal for the home nation.
Well, that would absolutely bring the house down tonight if she was able to get on the medal podium, Nicole Turner. That'll be a little bit later on in the session. She'll be trying to qualify for that final tonight, so let's keep our fingers crossed for the home nation here. First of all, though, as our officials make their way onto the poolside, just waiting for the swimmers for this first event, which is the men's 400 freestyle S11. 2 heats, and Viktor Smirnov, gold medalist from yesterday, goes in the first heat in lane number 4. Yeah, the swimmers making their way out onto poolside with their tappers, the big long tapping sticks there. Swimmers will be tapped on the head or the shoulder or the back. Let them know where the turn is as they approach the turn. 4 swimmers in this first heat, only 5 in the second, so they only have to lose 1 swimmer from the 2 heats. There's Viktor Smirnov. Winner yesterday, a very close race in the 100 breaststroke. Federico Bassani from Italy in 3. And his teammate Salvatore Uso. There's Marco Meneses. Just missed out on the medals in the World Championships last year, the Portuguese swimmer. The swimmer's just making sure their orientation is right on those starting blocks. Just to reiterate, it's the S11 class, 400 freestyle, swimmers with no vision at all. And straight in the water, Liz. Very, very important for these swimmers, especially over the 400 metre distance, and a number of them gone straight towards the lane rope, just skirting those lane ropes there.
Yeah, and we'll find with these S11 swimmers, they look for that lane rope. They have a preferred side, and then they develop this technique where they're able to brush their lats or their elbows or their hands against the lane rope, obviously without pulling on them, but so that they get that direction and they can stick to that straight line. Preference would be to pick a lane rope that the person in the lane next to you hasn't chosen, but obviously you've kind of got your race plan before you go in, and that's just luck of the draw. So because sometimes these swimmers will end up getting tangled under the lane rope, and we do often see here Viktor Smirnov, the very experienced Ukrainian lane 4, bouncing down the pool at the moment. So even he, as experienced and talented as he is, they all sometimes have trouble just getting disorientated.
There's a tap on the shoulder. Viktor Smirnov goes into his tumble turn. Marco Meneses a little bit close there, the Portuguese swimmer. As a result, he's gone behind Salvatore Urso, and Urso going right across to the lane ropes there. The blue cap right in the centre, and the two swimmers side by side there, Federico Bassani and Viktor Smirnov. Well, I'm sure they can feel each other next to them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, sometimes you can feel just the water being moved, even if the person's not right next to you. But here we see the swimmers in lane 3 and 4 right next to each other. I would not be surprised if they have touched each other at some points down that 50-metre length. Great underwater shot there at the turn. You've seen both swimmers getting great foot planting onto that wall and off, and that is a testimony to the practice that they put in with their tappers, as they're so technically known. But ultimately, those tappers have such an important role.
Yeah, they do indeed. Got to get that tapping right. And if you don't, swimmer potentially miss the turn. If you're too far away to do that tumble turn and don't hit the wall, you're not going to be able to complete the distance. And Viktor Smirnov just about right there. Alternatively, if you get a little bit too close, you get bunched up on the wall, and the danger is you just crash straight into the timing pads if it's really bad.
Yeah, in the freestyle events, especially this longer distance, there's a slightly slower rhythm than the sprint events, which gives the tappers more time to be more accurate with the tapping. But if they're sprinting, if they go really fast, or if an athlete has practiced the pace and then for some reason has hit form at the right time and is in a different spot than they would normally be as they come into the wall, there's a lot of pressure on those tappers to hit them in the right spot, because each swimmer will have a preference of which part of the body is tapped.
Have you done any tapping in your day, Liz?
Absolutely not. I was given the tapping stick once and I just couldn't take the pressure.
I've done it a couple of times.
How did that go?
One of the swimmers in Scotland. Mixed, shall we say. It wasn't too bad. Once you got into the rhythm of it and the rhythm of the swimmer, these guys will be well practiced, of course. Always felt backstroke was the worst, because the arms are coming across the head potentially, which is always very difficult to where you tap the swimmers. And these techniques have kind of developed. It was always on the head that the tapping stick came, but these techniques have developed now, and some of the tapping stick really, really long, and pretty much on the small of the back sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's why the technique has developed, because back in your day, Paul, often the tapping stick was simply the white cane with a ball on the end, whereas now we see each swimmer has a preference over the length of their tapping stick and how much warning they're given going into the wall. You see some really, really long tapping sticks, almost as far as the 5-metre flags, and they're very difficult to control.
Well, the Ukrainian tapping stick is around about the same height as the Italian ones next to them. We're looking at the tappers there going down to each lane. Viktor Smirnov well on his way to winning this one. He had an entry time of 5:03. He's not quite going to be on that pace, but not going to be too far away from that, and it's been a comfortable swim for him. Salvatore Urso, 18-year-old Italian, just ahead of his teammate Federico Bassani. Viktor Smirnov, he looks in good shape at these championships, Liz. 32 years of age now. He's been around for a fair few years, probably about 15 years or so, Viktor Smirnov, and he reaches for the end, 5:06.90. Well controlled swim for him. The two Italians coming in now, and they should qualify for the final. Salvatore Urso with his entry time of 5:32. He's improved that to 5:21, so he'll be delighted with that swim. And his teammate Bassani coming in now just under the 5:30 mark, so an improvement for him as well. So the two Italians improving their entry time. Viktor Smirnov, the Ukrainian swimmer, finishes that heat in 5:06.90. Youngest man in the field, Marco Menezes from Portugal, finishing now. And his time, 5:53.44. So you have to wait for the result of the next heat to see if he makes that final this evening. But top three, if the result is confirmed, should progress to that final tonight.
And there we see Smirnov right, bit too close to the wall, but he is a very, very tall man. And at least with front crawl, when you're close to the wall, you've just got more of a spring to propel from the board. It's not as much of a problem as it tends to be with breaststroke or butterfly, because if you're too close to the wall, then you end up hitting your head.
Good finish though from Viktor Smirnov. Swimmers will come out, they'll get their blacked out goggles checked by the officials at the side of the pool. And after those checks are made, the results will be made official. Looks like we do have a result now. Viktor Smirnov, 5:06.90, takes that first heat. So that'll be the target for the next heat. Second and final heat of this 400 freestyle S11. 5 swimmers taking the start for this one. Grigoriy Zudzilav of Belarus, already a gold medalist here at these championships. Goes in the middle lane. He's an Icelandic swimmer. Guðfinnur Karlsson leading them through. Two Ukrainians, two very young Ukrainians in this one. Mikhailo Serbin in lane 5, Alexander Chukov in lane number 3. There in lane number 2, Johannes Weinberg. Had an excellent swim yesterday, didn't he, Johannes Weinberg?
Yeah, really strong finishing the breaststroke. We saw he just getting used to the orientation of the lanes, but we'll see if he's got another personal best time in him this morning.
Yeah, it looks like we have got a few withdrawals from this heat. A couple of withdrawals there. Zudzilav and Altukov not taking the start, so 3 swimmers here. If they negotiate their way through these heats correctly without any disqualifications, then they're going to progress to this final. Again, Weinberg and that red cap of Germany straight into the lane ropes, really veering across his right side there. At the moment he's in a bit of a tussle for the lead with Mikhailo Serbin from Ukraine, the 14-year-old Ukrainian. Looks like he's going to be first to the wall here. Interesting to watch Weinberg here. He's obviously very strong, but he was wrestling with the lane ropes in that breaststroke last night, and he started again right on the ropes, the German swimmer with the red cap.
Yeah, but he did have a fantastic turn. He was the perfect distance away from the wall, and when we saw that explosive power off and back up and into his stroke. And these two swimmers here, Serbin and Weinberg, neck and neck. Obviously, they are too many lanes away from each other, with those 2 lanes separating them, to be able to sense where the other one is. They can't see anything. But what these S11 swimmers do get very used to doing is counting their strokes so that they have a good idea of where they are in the pool, and if anything did go wrong with the tapper stick, there we go. We see again Weinberg quite close to the wall that time, but he will have known the wall's coming because, as I said, he will be counting his strokes. So they get a good sense of where they are, and also pacing, because they are completely reliant on how quickly they are going and their feel of the water, because they have no reference point whatsoever to how well they're going or where they are in relation to their competitors.
And also when you get into this competitive environment, then your stroke can slightly change as well. Get a little bit of adrenaline, a little bit of rush to the head, and if you are doing a number of strokes to the wall, maybe you've got 1 fewer or 1 more when you hit that. So that's what the tappers are there for, just to let these swimmers know where they are in relation to the wall, in relation to the turn. Very good for Serbin though. He's looking very, very smooth in these early stages. really skirting that lane rope. Very, very good technique for an S11 swimmer.
Yeah, so far, we don't want to curse him with the commentator's curse, but so far he's doing a great job at staying tightly up to that lane rope, but not too close that he's getting tangled, which means he's swimming in as straight as line as possible and hopefully just swimming the 400 metres that the event is prescribed.
We'll watch his turn here. Not too bad, a little bit bunched, but not too bad at all, and straight out and diagonally over to the lane rope on the right-hand side of the lane.
Yeah, and we see again, some swimmers choose to stay in that straight line and stay against the same lane rope both ways. Some have a preferred side that they'd rather brush up against. I know that I always like to be on the left-hand side. Obviously, I'm not an S11, but I still used to like swimming against the left-hand side of the rope. But there we see, it's a risk, because if you stay on the same side and you get your push-off slightly wrong, we have seen it in the past where swimmers have come up in the wrong lane.
I've seen it a few times. Swimmers have come up in the wrong lane. Didn't you swim in a race once? A combined classification race where one of your teammates came up in the wrong lane?
I did, but thankfully the S11 swimmer was significantly far ahead of the SB5 swimmer in the race, and they actually just swam down the lane together, and then it was corrected at the other end of the turn, like the next turn.
You imagine the swimmer just pops up in front of you on a breaststroke race, and then you think, what are they going to do at the turn? They're going to be coming right back towards me.
I do remember that was the thought process that the SB5 swimmer had. Crisis averted.
Yeah, thankfully it was all sorted out. And the tappers there did a really good job to get the swimmer back into the correct lane. Oh, just a little bit close that time for Serban, not quite as sharp as we've seen his other turns, but he's going along very nicely. As I said, with the withdrawals, these three swimmers will progress to the final. Weinberg just stretching for the wall now, and Karlsson from Iceland has pulled up alongside the German swimmer as well, so he's pulled up the distance and challenging for second place here. But Michaelo Serban has looked good, impressing us this morning.
Yeah, Michaelo Serban, great technique, great tactics, just really found his rhythm, and looks like he's enjoying this race. We haven't seen him drop off so much. There's not been a massive change in his stroke. All of his turns have been consistent. He is close to the wall, but maybe that's his preference. Maybe he'd rather be closer to the wall and know he's getting that good push off to line him up down the next length, rather than risking being too far away. Weinberg, on the other hand, he tends to stick his hand right out, almost as if he's waiting for the wall, and then does his tumble turn.
Yeah, certainly some technique work for Weinberg to come, but he's certainly a raw talent, and we saw that in the breaststroke last night. Absolutely superb, so really, really strong for the German swimmer. But here comes Serban now into the finish. Very consistent swimming there, 5:23, and that will be the third fastest time we've seen, behind Victor Smirnov and Salvatore Urso. And it looks like Karlsson just making a move now into second position. He'll qualify for the final if these results are confirmed. Karlsson now in 5:42, and Weinberg, a talented German swimmer, in 5:44.27. So the results are confirmed. All these three swimmers, not all the swimmers in the first two heats will qualify for the final withdrawals, meaning that the heats were only for a position in the final, lane position. We should see all these swimmers back this evening for that first and final of this evening's session. But good swimming here for Serban. Looked good all the way through that, very consistent.
Yeah, exciting race tonight. With those withdrawals, it's really opened up, and these athletes will all feel like they've got a chance to make it onto the podium.
It's very nice technique-wise, Serban. Nice freestyle. Great shots we're getting here from the cameras here in Dublin. Underwater, we're getting the aerial shots as well. Really kind of showcases the para swimmers.
Yeah, and really gives a great understanding of how each athlete maximizes the use of what they have available to them, and limits their impairment so that they can get the most out of their strokes and move through the water as quickly as possible.
Michaela Serbin, 14-year-old from Ukraine, takes that second heat, and all three swimmers will progress to the final this evening. Well, nice start for us this morning, Liz. The Swedes looking happy, looking a bit warm here.
Yeah, the temperature's definitely risen in this pool. Over the first couple of days in the heat sessions, it was a little cool, the air temperature, but today, yeah, the heating is definitely on.
Might be some Ukrainian fans, possibly. There's the Icelanders. Wonder if we'll get a Viking chant from the Icelanders. Maybe if they get in the medal podium, we'll look forward to that. There we go. We haven't seen much of the Irish fans today. Look like on a few flags there. There's the Italians. Well, they've been really enjoying themselves here.
They've had a lot to shout about, the Italians. They start every session well. They deliver in the final sessions. Got a good range of swimmers. Exciting times to be Italian.
We've got some Italian representation in the heats to come. There's the family. Marco. I don't know if that is. Yeah, I think it is. Marco Maria Dolphin's family. We met them yesterday, just in the foyer. They're out in force. His sisters, brothers. His mother is here, Marco Maria Dolphin. He's in the next event. Very next heat here, the Italian swimmer. Interesting story for Marco Maria Dolphin. He was injured in a motorcycle accident. He's a surgeon. So to make his way back to the operating table, the hospital created a special appliance, a special operating table and a special wheelchair so he could get up to the level to operate and to continue to be a surgeon. Really interesting story.
Yeah, it just proves that with the right kind of thinking, the barriers can always be broken down. And there we see
Ellen Keen's main fan, Ellen Keen's dad.
In the house.
He's still not wearing that all green suit.
No, I think he's saving it. I haven't seen that T-shirt before.
Oh, don't tell me he's not gonna bring the suit out.
I'm sure he will.
Must do. Mum and Dad there for Ellen Keen. There's the Italians there enjoying their time on the big screen here. So a little bit of a delay until the start of this next one. I think we've had a few of the heats that have been cancelled, so we might get a few delays because the heats must start on time. Marco Maria Dolphin, his fans are here in Dublin. He goes in lane number 4. See him coming out. There he is, the Italian. In good shape there. He'll go in the centre lane. 2 Spanish swimmers in 2 and 3. 2 Turkish swimmers in 6 and 7. We have Marco Maria Dolphin in 4 and Alexander Komarov in 5. Probably be the 2 favourites for this one. This is the SB5 class, Liz. Maybe right in the middle of the impairment range, and we'll see a range of impairments here, a range of different starts. Some swimmers will start from the blocks, some will start in the water, some will go on a sit start. I'm not able to stand on the blocks, but like Marco Maria Dolphin, they get more propulsion. They're higher up if they're on the blocks, and they'll use their arms just to propel themselves forward. They have no power in the legs. Really interesting, this SB5 100 breaststroke.
Yeah, and there we see lots of different starts, as you said, Paul. And what ends up happening is the race will change hands a number of times. And even though athletes have similar impairments, we still see different techniques being employed. There we see in the middle the Italian Marco Maria Dolphin breathing to the side every 2 strokes, keeping himself flat. And Alexander Komarov, the Ukrainian swimmer, similar disability, leg dragging behind him. He's breathing every stroke, looking ahead of him, and not wearing any goggles.
Yeah, interesting. Komarov was able to get his head out of the water, be able to see the turn coming up there. It's Dolphine's first to the wall. Surgeon Dolphine half a second ahead of Komarov in second position.
And there we see Dolphin was quick around the wall, but then lost all of his momentum as he has no propulsion from those legs that are dragging behind him. He does, however, manage to keep a really flat stroke, and by breathing every other stroke and breathing to the side, he minimises the resistance that his body is causing, and he continues to power through the water.
Again, it's one of these techniques that he's developed over the years. Again, we see this at the major championships. Someone with certain impairments come along and just employs a technique that others might not have seen before, and others think, yeah, we can use that. And you might see other swimmers maybe employing similar techniques here. As Dolphine swam a good heat swim here, 1:43.29. His fans are really enjoying that. The Italian flag's waving, and he's looking in good shape. Dolphine is a medalist at last European Championships. He'll be looking to try and follow that up with another medal here. And he's made a good start. Komarov in second place. Carasamo from Spain in third position. So those top 3. Otatursi from Turkey in fourth place, so he's got a chance of making the final. But there's the winner, Marco Maria Dolphine, looking pretty comfortable that time, 1:43.29, 4 seconds or so slower than his entry time here, so he's got a little bit more to give, but he looked comfortable with.
Yeah, and he looked strong, and he dominated that race, and you can really see that he's thought about the tactics and the technique that he's using, because him and Komarov will have a similar amount of strength in those arms, but there we see, just from that underwater shot, the amount of resistance that Komarov has come up against every time he lifts his head to breathe.
Yeah, great shots there of the side breathing technique of Dolphine. Finishes at the wall in first place there in 1:43.29. Just waiting for the confirmed result. Always a nervous wait for these swimmers before the results are confirmed. But here we go, Marco Maria Dolphine, 1:43.29. We'll take that one ahead of Komarov and Carasamo Arana in third place. Looks like that's the target for the next heat. We have a world record holder in this one, and that's Anthony Bertrand. There's the Dolphine fans. Enjoyed that win there. So there, boy. Quite a number of Dolphine signs there. The Norwegians hitting to date. It's like maybe Andres Skar Bjornstad's fan club there. Maybe on a little bit later. Second heat of this men's 100 breaststroke SP5. Anthony Pons Bertrand from Spain, the world record holder in the centre lane. Georgios Maltos of Greece, a very good swim in the 50 freestyle. So I wonder what he can do, the Greek swimmer.
We know the Greek swimmer's got the speed, often that freestyle speed, 50 freestyle as 100 breaststroke, because there is a bit of a crossover. It doesn't really make that much scientific sense, but it seems to work. So we'll be watching him in lane 5 as he tries to put down the gauntlet this morning.
Well, Dolphine set the standard in that first heat, so the swimmers know what they're going to do. 4 swimmers under the 2 minute mark in that first heat. So these swimmers know what the target is going to be. See if they can make it through to that final. There's the world record holder, Anthony Ponce-Bertrand. Set that record in Mexico at the World Championships last December. 128.57. He's been on great form. Saw him yesterday winning the 200 metres individual medley, and his breaststroke element of that really was the one that won him that one.
Yeah, really, Ponce-Bertrand has really come of age, if that's, in fact we can say that, because he's not actually one of the youngest in the field, but he seems to have hit form in the last 12 months, and now he's dominating.
And there's Ivo Roca. And Altos of Greece. Now he can go. The Greek national anthem. Times already these championships. Andres Ceballos on the medal podium again. World record holder off to a very, very good start there. Ceballos in second position.
Here we see Bertrand going ahead, but he's employing that not breathing every single stroke. He's keeping it flat. But what he has done is actually he's breathing every 4 strokes, and in order to do that, it means that you can take quicker, shorter sculls, as we'll see here as he comes into the turn. He hits that wall perfectly, round the wall, off and up and back into his stroke. Very powerful shoulders, a big set of lungs, because it's not easy to hold your breath for those 4 strokes. Because this is essentially a sprint race for these athletes.
Yeah, very interesting technique for Ponce-Bertrand. And he's stretching away at the front of the field. Seems to do like 3 very quick strokes and 1 very long stroke there at the end. Pops his head up to breathe. Ponce-Bertrand coming into the last 10 metres now. He's a little bit outside his world record pace here. Clock not really with us here. Might be some timing problems here, but no danger about who is going to win that one. It is Ponce-Bertrand from Spain. Followed home in second position by Ceballos of Greece. The clock just sorting itself out now. Ceballos in 144.28. And Ivo Roca from Portugal in third position, 148.09. So the time for Ponce-Bertrand not really coming up on the scoreboard. That is the second place swimmer there, Ceballos, 144.28. Ponce-Bertrand a little bit ahead of that one. We'll just wait for his time to be confirmed. A little bit of timing issues this morning, Liz.
Absolutely, as Vlados of the Greek in lane 5 got off to a great start from that sister's position on the block, but once they were up and moving, Ponce-Bertrand really took control of the race. We can see the contrasting styles there, similar styles, but the Spanish athlete has just managed to get to a 4-stroke to 1 breath ratio, and it really does allow him to excel forward with each stroke.
Really interesting. There's 3 kind of shorter strokes, then 1 really long stroke, and then his head pops up for the breath, and then back to the 3 shorter strokes again.
Yeah, and it means that he doesn't have such a pause or so much resistance when he does take that breath.
Now we're still waiting for the confirmed result. Anthony Ponce-Bertrand will be making his way to the final if this result is confirmed. The Spanish fans there. So looks like we do have an official result now. Ponce-Bertrand time confirmed at 134.89. Ceballos in second in 144. So that looks like we have it eventually. A little bit of timing issues here, but we're sorted out now. Anthony Ponce-Bertrand 134.89, and he will progress to that final. comfortably in first position. Oh, some good moves here. The spectator gallery, the teams. Oh yeah, Ellen Keane's mum and dad.
So you can see they got matching t-shirts on. Maybe it was that Mrs. Keane was not willing to wear a suit.
Maybe. The Czech swimmers.
Everybody knows Gangnam Style.
Yeah, hopefully the camera's not going to come here.
No, that's not even funny because you probably don't know Gangnam Style.
Can't do it sitting down. Have to stand up. Have to be the finals. There we go, Liz. Yeah, excellent. On the breaststroke SB5 for women. Fans loving it here. There's Go Team Turner. Nicole Turner will be coming up very shortly. Irish looking forward. There's the Dauphine family. And sisters. Why is Mum not up there? Oh, Mum Keane. She's up there. She is keen. Look at that. Good job the camera's pointing that way, Liz.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't need to come this side of the pool.
No. Don't want that. We've seen some youngsters taking the start already in the first couple of days of competition. We have that 12-year-old in this one, Liz. Evelyn Sarash, there she is, Hungarian swimmer. I think she must be the youngest swimmer here at these championships.
Yes, but we've seen some phenomenal swims from 12-year-olds in the past. So who knows? This might be her breakthrough meet.
Anyone spring to mind? Maybe the great Jessica Long.
Yeah, she didn't have a bad first appearance as a 12-year-old, did she? 3 Paralympic gold medals.
Which was Ellie Simmonds? 12, 13?
She was 13 in Beijing. We did go to the World Championships in 2006. She was just 12. But 13 was her age when she started winning those gold medals.
Well, Evelyn Sarath in that centre lane, lane number 5, next to Verena Schott of Germany. Experienced German. Number 2 swimmers in this one. Bjornsdottir from Iceland, closest to us. Maria Sakona from Greece goes in number 3. A good start there. Lane number 4, Verena Schott, someone you know well.
Yes, we used to race in the 200 metres individual medley, and she swam in a phenomenal race last night. German record to sneak onto that podium in the bronze medal position, just ahead of the very dominant Ellie Simmonds, who's on her comeback into international competition. But yeah, Verena Schott, she's 29 years old, but she's really now in the best form of her life, and she'll be looking to pick up another medal this evening.
Verena Schott, the world champion back in 2015. World record held by her German teammate Kirsten Brun, who has retired from international competition now, but Kirsten Brun really dominated this event for many years.
Yeah, Kirsten Brun really hit form and then just moved this event on significantly, and I think it would be very difficult for Schott, as well as she is swimming, to try and break a German record tonight, because obviously that is the European and the world record also. 1:33.85 is so quick for the SB5 category.
And Verena Schott, well, she's followed by the youngster Evelyn Sarath. Evelyn Sarath is coming back really strongly in the closing stage. Just keeping an eye on Verena Schott, kind of breathing almost to the left, turning her head to the left as she breathes here. And she's using the experienced Verena Schott as a kind of a drag, kind of a toe action there. And the youngster coming back in the closing stages and might nick this one. Oh, not quite. Verena Schott takes it, 1:47.20, but a good swim from Evelyn Sarath of Hungary. just 0.14 of a second behind.
Yes, Zara's there getting under her entry time. 3 seconds, you'd expect that from the 12-year-old. Very controlled swim there for Verena Schott. She's probably still got the reminiscence of last night in her body, so she'll just get in, comfortably swim, use her advantage as she's one of the quickest swimmers in this event. They've only got to drop one athlete. There's 9 entrants in these 2 heats, so she can afford to comfortably cruise that heat as she did. Showed her experience, great start, really developed that start over the years, doesn't get any propulsion from her legs, but uses the power of her arms to give herself momentum. Very flat, very strong stroke. Breathing every other stroke, as we've come to see with many of these breaststrokers with leg drag, and it's a very efficient and effective stroke that she has.
A couple of seconds outside her entry time, Verena Schott, and winning that very close contest at the end. And, well, Evelyn Saras was coming back really strongly and didn't quite spot the finish there in the end. Verena Schott used their experience to take that first heat. 147.20 ahead of young Evelyn Saras of Hungary. So 5 more swimmers to come in this second heat, including the Paralympic gold medalist Elizaveta Mareshko, who's in lane number 4. Louise Wrong. Norwegian fans in today, we saw them earlier on our screens. She goes in lane number 5.
Breaststroke day, Paul. It's breaststroke day today.
It seems that these days where they have number of strokes, number of heats on the individual strokes, big events, all grouped together. You like the breaststroke day, though, Liz. This is your day.
Breaststroke day was my only day.
There you go. SP6 Paralympic champion, sitting right next to me.
Almost 10 years ago. In 3 weeks' time.
Still seems like yesterday. Sarah Louise Wrong. Well, a number of classification changes over recent months. Sarah Louise Wrong, one of the world's most successful swimmers in the S5 class, and S4 has moved up a classification, so she's got quite a tough ask here in the SB5 class.
Yeah, but she's a very strong breaststroker and she's a brilliant athlete, so she will be looking to bring her A game this morning and try and stamp down her authority and stick with Ukrainian Elizaveta Mareshko.
Mareshko in lane number 4, Paralympic champion. Going from the sit start, going from the dive, Peggy Sontag from Germany. Mareshko, really good start from that sit start.
Yes, and Peggy Sontag also, as you said, Paul, getting a good start. She trains with Verena Schott, who we saw in the heat, and we know that their little training group is on form. They're all doing best times yesterday, so that's exciting. But really, it's difficult to see past Mareshko down this first 50 metres. We know she's in record-breaking form. She, like Schott last night, made that podium in the 200 metres individual medley, made it in a best time, broke the world record in the 50 freestyle, was part of the gold medal winning 20-point mixed relay. So yes, she's already having a brilliant meet, and we see her here close to the wall on that turn, turning 47.61 with a 2-second lead over Sarah Louise Wrong of Norway.
Yes, Sarah Louise Wrong right up there with Mareshko, and she came back after Mareshko's very, very good start. So Sarah Louise Wrong closing the gap. But Mareshko still looks pretty comfortable here. She'll be the favourite for the gold medal when they come to the final tonight. Sarah Louise Wrong really going well here, right up alongside the legs of Mareshko. Very similar strokes, the two of them. There's Mareshko, again, keeping that head down for 3 or 4 strokes. Sarah Louise Wrong, very similar technique, maybe 2 or 3 strokes per breath there for Sarah Louise Wrong. And she is closing up on Mareshko as the two of them come to the finish, just ticking over the 140 mark, 142.50 for Mereshko and 144.53 for Sarah Louise Rung, and 2 good times. That's the fastest 2 times from the heat. So Mereshko, a little bit out of breath there. It's a decent time for her. 142.50. Paralympic title was won in 141.63, so not far off that Paralympic winning time.
No, and as we said, she's in great form. We see she's really worked on that start. Doesn't get any propulsion from her legs, but maximises her whole distance and body length to get into the water as quickly as possible. And there we see the contrast between the way that these 2 ladies' legs drag in the water. Mereshko's are together, so she kind of forms a streamlined position where her shoulders break the water. Sarah Louise Rung with less control over her legs, so they're slightly more spread, so she has a bit more to drag through the water.
Sarah Louise Rung coming to the finish. 144.53 for Sarah Louise Rung. Second position, Mereshko in first place, 142.50, and Talamona in third place, 155.42. She should progress to the final. There are the confirmed results. Peggy Sontag will just make it into that final, as will Agata Kukilova in 8th position. So the men coming out now for the SP400 breaststroke. Breaststroke continues. 5 swimmers here taking the start. I think we've got all 5 there. I'm not sure, we saw the withdrawals earlier. I think all 5 swimmers are at the start now. We have Ahmed Ali Adin from Turkey in 2, Miguel Luque from Spain in line 3, Stefan Fura in line 4 for Switzerland, Bashar Halabi in 5 from Israel, and Ottur Ingvarsson from Iceland in line number 6. That's the Turkish swimmer Ahmed Ali Adin, a 20-year-old, the youngest in this field. Just waiting for the swimmers to get set for the start. There's the Icelandic swimmer Ottur Ingvarsson. Just waiting for the swim. A little bit of a delay till we get the start here. I think we're ready now. At the bottom of the screen, Muhammad Ali Adin. Miguel Luque, the Spanish swimmer. Again, someone has moved up in the classification below. Very successful in the SP3 class, Miguel Luque. Because he's moving from an SP3 to an SP4, he's got to swim double the distance, because the SP3 event was the 50 breaststroke. The SP4 is the cut-off point for the 100 breaststroke, so double the distance for Miguel Luque that he's been training for many years now.
Yeah, and we see here he's got off to a great start, and he does have that speed from being a 50 swimmer, but that is another complication that comes from sometimes these classification changes. It's a completely different event, a different energy system required, and as you said, Paul, his whole career he's been training for 50 metres, and now he's got to double that time that he's racing for. But he has got a great breaststroke, you see there, a very wide arm pull, very high. Up, and he's going to take this first 50 metres and get the touch. Can he hold on going back?
Luque, 41-year-old, he's the 50-year-old Stefan Fura of Switzerland, making his international debut for the Swiss team.
Yeah, and we see a lot of newcomers at these European Championships, and of all age ranges, people find the sport at different points in their life, and swimming is such a good therapy, I find that now, even though I don't swim anymore, like I still feel better once I've been for a swim. And it's great that these countries are all discovering new talent, and age is not proving to be a barrier.
And sometimes it's just people acquire their impairment later on in life, but not for Stefan Furrer. He's had his disability due to an accident back in the 1970s. So he's found the sport at this later age. But what a good contest here. Bashar Halabi from Israel coming through, the 22-year-old. Halabi making his debut here at these championships. Looks like he is going to touch first here. A wall. Bashar Halabi just about on the 2-minute mark, maybe just under. Miguel Luque with the touch there, just on 2 minutes. So Halabi, I think, a little bit ahead of Luque. His time not registering. If we don't hit the timing pads fast enough or hard enough, then those times are not going to register here. Halabi will have to go to the backup time. We'll get that very shortly, hopefully.
Yeah, and a great example there of how people's strengths can play out at different points within the race. Halabi came through strongly at the end, hitting that wall. There we go, we get confirmation of Miguel Luque's time, and who's progressing massively. Because as we said, he's had to step up to that 100-metre time. It's a bit of an unknown world for him. 2 minutes, 0.09, a great time for the Spaniard. Great start in there. We see the range of starts, the range of strokes, the range of techniques. And really, Luque, the Spaniard, with a brilliant first 50 metres. See him, his legs, he cannot straighten his legs out. So he's acting as a kind of anchor almost. So he's pulling against the resistance of his upper legs as he goes through. And there we see the eventual winner, Halabi of Israel, for this heat. One leg not even moving. So we see him come in, and hopefully we'll get confirmation of his time soon.
Yeah, I think his time just appearing on the scoreboard here in the arena. And 1:59.18, just ahead of Miguel Luque and Stefan Furrer. The results for number 1. We have 6 swimmers in this second heat, so the top 2 swimmers from that first heat will be guaranteed a place in the final. You would imagine that time for Stefan Furrer would be good enough as well. Francesco Bocciado of Italy in the centre lane in the men's 100 breaststroke SB4, heat number 2. Bocciado really started the Italian team off to a great start at these championships. The first event, the first gold medal of the championships for Italy, and a world record time in the 200 freestyle.
Yeah, and Bocciado known more as a freestyler, but this breaststroke event is opening up, so we'll see what he can do this morning.
Yeah, one of the kind of big names of the past taking part in this. Ricardo Ten from Spain was a multi-European champion, not here. And Antonios Zapatakis from Greece was also right up there in the European rankings as well, not taking part in this competition, but a lot of strength out with Europe. So this European title very much up for grabs. There's Bocciado. There is the Greek swimmer. Well, 2 Greek swimmers in this one. Arkadias and Karaousas. There is the Czech swimmer, Peter Andrusek. Looks like we have all the swimmers. In fact, lane number 3, possibly. Arkadias, oh, here he comes in from the side. Well spotted, Liz.
No, it's difficult to see that side of the pool from our spot pool.
We've almost got their eyes open here. Some swimmers going in from the side. They're all starting from the water, though. It's the SB4 class. So, a bit different from what we saw in that first heat. In number 4, Francesco Bocciado off to the best start here in the blue cap of Italy.
Yeah, but Petra Andrusek of Czech Republic looking powerful. Not wearing a swimming hat. But it's all about the moment is Bocciado. There we saw earlier in the SB5 category his compatriot Delphine breathe into the side, and we see that Bocciado has adopted a similar technique to try and maintain that rhythm and technique as he powers forward down this first 50 metres of the breaststroke.
A bit more of a jerky action than we saw for Dauphine, but very, very similar. Ricciardo coming to the halfway point now. It's going to be faster than the first heat, 52.16. Andrusek far behind, and Kabashev is in third place, the youngest in this field at 20 years of age. Kabashev there from Ukraine, just one lane up from the Czech man with that beard there in lane number 5. But Bocciardo powering away down this second 50.
Yeah, and he's relying on that strength that he has in those shoulders from being such a dominant freestyler to open up a lead. And we can see the contrast in the stroke. The Czech swimmer in lane 5 a lot flatter, but Bocciardo showing his strength here.
Bocciardo heading for home now. He's in the last 6 or 7 metres now as he comes into the red zone under the flags. And Bocciardo is going to have the fastest time, I think, to progress to this final this evening. And a very good time indeed, 150.17. Very good time. That's his fastest time of the year for Trisco Bocciardo. Andrusek in second place. So the Czech swimmer will make his way into that final as well. And in third place, was it the Ukrainian swimmer? Kabashev's time not coming up there. Again, he seemed to have some timing problems this morning. We haven't seen that for the first couple of days. A number of the times not registering on our scoreboard here in the arena, but won't bother Bocciardo. He swam that really well, and he'll be the favourite going into the final.
Yeah, definitely a new event for him, so a bit into the unknown, but there he put in a great showing this morning.
Well, Kabashev's time, he's registering, he's in 5th place actually. Carusas was 3rd, Andrusek in 2nd position, and Bocciardo taking that one, 150.17 for the Italian. So men's 50 freestyle S12, the next event that we'll see here. The swimmers will move up to the top end, one length of the pool. So they'll start at the scoreboard end. Swim down towards the finish end here. Slav Denisenko, already a gold medalist in the 400 freestyle. He goes in lane 4. Next to Great Britain, Stephen Clegg in lane number 5. So one line to the pool is. It's the visually impaired class S12. These swimmers have partial vision. And there's Denisenko. What a great swim he had in the 400 freestyle, right on world record pace right until the very end of that 400 free.
Yeah, obviously this is at the other end of the spectrum, and this really is just get in, swim as fast as you can, splash and a dash. These athletes, some of the fastest in world paraswimming, this category. So Denisenko will be looking to put down a marker for Maxim Varaksa in the next heat.
Varaksa unbeaten in this class, I think, right back until the World Championships that we mentioned earlier in 2006 when he made his debut. Denisenko in the white cap there for Ukraine. And there will be no hanging about in this one with another heat to come. Stephen Clegg, his brother and sister, both Paralympic medalists. Stephen Clegg loved to go to Tokyo and make it a triple for the Clegg family, and he's had a good start. Stephen Clegg in lane number 5, just heading Denisenko. Stephen Clegg might take this one for Great Britain. Stephen Clegg into the finish now, and he does take it. 24.82 for Stephen Clegg, faster than his entry time. That is a scalp for Stephen Clegg, ahead of Denisenko, who's 2nd position, with Sotile in 3rd.
Yeah, Stephen Clegg there signalled his intent. He's trying to get bigger and stronger, build some muscle. He's got a tall frame, but some of these athletes he's up against in the S12 category are very mature, very strong, very developed. And I know that's point he's been working on, and we saw there the explosive power. He got the better start, and he managed to stay ahead the entire way, getting that touch and doing a personal best time by 8/100ths of a second.
Lifetime best in the heats there for Stephen Clegg. He comes in ahead of Denisenko. Two swimmers side by side, and just separated by 11/100ths of a second, but Stephen Clegg takes that first heat. Two swimmers only under the 25-second mark. Well, the fastest Paralympian in water, Maxim Veraksa, goes in lane number 4 next to his Ukrainian teammate Ilya Yaramenko. They go in the centre lanes. There's Maxim Veraksa. It's his birthday yesterday.
Was he celebrated with a silver medal in the 100 metres breaststroke? He'll be looking to go one better this evening.
This is his event, the 50 freestyle. He swims in the S12 class. Sometimes the S12 events have been combined with the S13s, and Maxim Veraksa has been beaten in this one, but never by an S12 swimmer. There's Tiganidis, the Greek swimmer. Won Paralympic gold in his home Paralympic Games in Athens in 2004. Great moments for the Greek swimmer, but Veraksa is the dominant force in this one. Yaramenko, the teammate of the Ukrainian, the two Ukrainians side by side. Tiganidis trying to get back into contention here. Yaramenko might just have the edge here, but Veraksa is stroking through nicely. Yaramenko is going to take this heat. Veraksa actually just gets the touch against Yaramenko. I thought Yaramenko had it there at the finish, but it does go to the touch of Veraksa. He must have had better finish than his teammate. 3/100ths of a second is the difference, and those two very fast times there. Veraksa 24.08 winning that one.
Yeah, we could hardly see the finish, and also those athletes were so close together, they won't have known the finish either. They won't be able to see the scoreboard, so they'll be listening intently to try and hear the name of the winner. Veraksa getting his confirmation. But they were neck and neck the whole way. There was nothing to separate them on the start. In fact, if anything, it was Yaramenko who was ahead right into that wall. Veraksa just getting the touch with that stretch of his long arms.
Well, that's what the great champion does here. Yaramenko, I think he was ahead there, and Veraksa just finished. It's absolutely spot on to take that one by 3/100ths of a second. Yaramenko in second position. Those two will be the fastest swimmers into the final this evening. Tiganidis third place. He'll also progress to that final. Well, we're due to have the women's 50 freestyle S12. You were waiting for that one. That has gone to a straight final. We've had withdrawals for that one, so we progress on to the men's 50 freestyle S8. Two heats of the S8 here. Mikhail Golas of Poland in the centre lane for this first heat. Fastest qualification time. Next to him, Joshua Grobe of Switzerland, a medalist in the 400 freestyle. Also, Inigo Lopez Sanz, gold medalist in that 400 freestyle as well, the Spanish swimmer in lane number 3.
Best start there coming from Poland in lane 4. That's Michał Golas up, and we can see him there. Fly leg kick, high straight arm, single arm stroke, being chased down now by Joshua Grobe, the bronze medalist from last night in the 400 metres freestyle.
Yeah, really long straight arm there for Mikhail Golas. But Joshua Grobe showing his strength here. He's on good form, the Swiss swimmer. I think Switzerland's first medal for almost a decade last night in the European Championships. And look at that, absolutely together there at the wall, 28.56. Another dead heat. Oh, we saw a dead heat in the final. Swimmers just looking down 50 metres down the pool to the end, trying to work out where they finished. They'll see number 1 against both their names. Mikhail Golas and Joshua Grobe, 28.56. They'll qualify for the final this evening. had excellent swims from those two. Completely different techniques, as we saw last night in the dead heat as well, but touching the wall exactly together.
Yeah, and there we see Golas playing to his strengths, getting a really explosive start off the wall, using that fly leg kick to generate power and give himself an advantage. And he just got chased down the whole length by Joshua Grove. And actually, as we see again, Joshua Grove looks like he's ahead, but Golas getting that perfect finish.
Yeah, very, very close indeed. Golas stretching that big, long arm over at the end. That made the difference there. Just catching Joshua Grove with that final stroke there. It's a dead heat. In heat number 1, Mikael Golas and Joshua Grove, with Brogo Cancela, the only other swimmer under the 30-second mark, the Portuguese swimmer. He'll qualify for the final, as we only have 5 swimmers in this next heat. Morelli, Champracotti, Andreas Onea, Yuri Bozinski, Sergio Salvador, Martos Minguet, Ruben Lindharis. This is the S8 class, that tall figure of Yuri Bozinski from Ukraine. Seen him going over the sprint distances before. Bozinski was a bronze medalist at the last European Championships in this event. He's better known as a backstroker. Made his name really back in the European Championships back in 2014, Bozinski. There's Martos from Spain. Getting himself humped up here for this heat. Good chance to make the final for these swimmers. Champracotti for Italy. I think the swimmers in the centre lanes will be able to qualify comfortably. Anywhere under 30 seconds should guarantee space in that final.
There we see Andres Onea of Austria in lane 3 getting off to a great start again. He had the best reaction time, a lot quicker stroke rate with that single arm, but now, as expected, it's the Ukrainian Bozinski in lane 4 that's starting to power through, getting stronger as this length goes by.
And Bozinski coming into the last 5 now, ahead of Martos Minguet, and Bozinski will take that one, 28.05. That is faster than the first heat. Martos Minguet, 28.73, just slightly slower than that first heat. So Bozinski will be fastest into that final, 28.05 for Bozinski. Spanish swimmer in second, Lindharis in third spot, 29.53, and Andres Onea back in 4th position there, but under the 30-second mark, so should make that final.
So there we see the contrasting strokes, that straight on, that powerful stroke for Bozinski, really balanced, coming through at the end to take the victory.
Yuri Bozinski takes that one, 28.05, followed by Sergio Martos Minguet for Spain, Ruben Lindharis from Portugal. They will all make that final, and looks like the second Spanish swimmer will make it as well. Inigo Lopez Sanz will be the last swimmer into that final, 30.77. Well, the heats continue at a pace. We've got more 50 freestyles as well. It's for the women in the S8 class. We've got 13 swimmers in the 2 heats. We have Francesco Palazzo in lane number 4 and Great Britain's Megan Richter in lane number 5. Both medalists, gold and silver medalists in the individual medley earlier. Palazzo looking in great shape, isn't she?
Yep, she's already got 2 gold medals. She picked up another one last night in the 400-metre freestyle. And she's having a busy but very successful start to the European Championships.
this first heat. 20-year-old, she's against, right next to Megan Richter, the 17-year-old from Great Britain. There's Janamagi from Estonia, she goes in line number 2. Zudairi Barezzo, 14-year-old from Spain. Talented youngsters here. There's Megan Richter, Great Britain. Lazzo from Italy. 2 Polish swimmers, Berczyska, Kacik in 6 and 7.
Yeah, all pretty evenly away. We know that Megan Richter of Great Britain's got a great underwater, and then we see her just popping up at the 14-metre mark. Palazzo already up and into her stroke with that quick turnover that we saw down the last length of the 200-metre individual medley. Megan Richter looking comfortable and keeping her company.
The European record held by Great Britain's Stephanie Slater, set back in Eindhoven at the European Championships in 2014. 30.44. Palazzo, well, a couple of seconds outside that. She's followed on by Megan Richter, though. Exactly 1 second the difference between the leading 2. So positions in that heat, same as the positions that were in the 200 medley final. Palazzo in first place, Megan Richter in second spot. Should guarantee their places in the final this evening.
We know the girls are on good form. These ladies, look at that great underwater shot there. Richter really maximising her strength, which is her underwater phase, but Palazzo once again proving very strong in this morning session.
So the result confirmed for that first heat. Xenia Francesca Palazzo, 32.51, exactly a second ahead of Great Britain's Megan Richter. Two again, got some empty lanes here. Lanes 6 and 8 are empty. Someone's coming out. Claire Sucio from France, wearing that white cap, French flag. She is going to be the favourite for this one. The fastest entry time, 30.77. Very close to that European record. Preparing for the start, the Czech swimmer, Flikova, goes in line number 1. Celine Deluth from Belgium in 2. Experienced Emily Winter, medalist yesterday in the 400 freestyle. Claire Sucio in line number 4. Katerina Denisenko from Ukraine in lane number 5. Martina Kavanic in line number 7 from Croatia.
Emily Winter there getting away well up and into her stroke, but it's actually lane 5. Katerina Denisenko of the Ukraine that's up and into the stroke, using the most of her underwater, but Claire Sucio already got a silver and a bronze medal. She'll be looking to put down a gauntlet, a great time, and try and challenge for a gold medal tonight to complete the set.
Sucio looking really good ahead of the Paralympic champion in 100 fly, Katerina Denisenko. 31.47 for Claire Sucio, former Olympian. She will take that one. She seems happy with that one. 31.47. Katerina Denisenko, formerly Katerina Istomina, and she won that title.
There you go.
Second place. Married to Yaroslav Denisenko now. But Claire Sucio was very dominant there. The French swimmer just getting ahead of Denisenko in the closing stages. Claire Sucio looking very good. 2 medals so far for the French swimmer. Is she going to make it a third? You wouldn't bet against her. A bit of a stretch for the wall. She looks round, see where Denisenko is. But it is. Claire Sucio will take that one. She'll progress to that final this evening. 31.47, the fastest of all the heats. Denisenko 32.75, comfortably in as well, as is Amelie Winter of Denmark. So back to the other end of the pool. It's the big World Paraswimming European Championships banner there. Huge banner at the side of the pool. 100 backstroke S14 class swimmers with an intellectual impairment. 2 medalists from yesterday in the middle lanes. The 200 freestyle medalists, Jordan Catchpole, Mikhail Jorink. 2 swimmers making their debut here at the major championships and hitting the medal podium first time out.
They've set the bar quite high for themselves. An exciting rest of the meet ahead for them.
There's Misha Palazzo. Brother of Xenia Palazzo.
Full of information today for all.
Yeah. Hear my national flags trivia later.
We'll save that for later in the week. I need to revise.
So Mikhail Jorink there in lane number 5. Jordan Catchpole will be the favourite for this one. Fastest entry time. 1.88, Jordan Catchpole. For his international debut. He's supposed to be in that Great Britain team last year for the World Championships. The event was postponed because of the Mexico City earthquake. Jordan Catchpole had to wait until these European Championships to make his international debut in a major competition. And Mikhail Jorink, Jordan Catchpole, side by side as they go into the turn.
As with the 200 meters freestyle, Jorink getting a great start. Catchpole knows he's in good form. He dipped under the 2-minute mark yesterday in that 200 meter freestyle final to take that silver medal. And here we see him now trying to break away, trying to edge ahead, get a little bit of advantage to take the victory in this heat. But Jorink is not letting him go.
And Jordan Catchpole, he's second in the world rankings this year with his entry time of 101.88. And he's gone ahead of the Dutch swimmer in the closing stages here. 103.10 for Jordan Catchpole. He should qualify for the final with that. That result is confirmed. Mikhail Jorink should also join him as well. 104.25 for the Dutch swimmer. Good contest between these two. And we're seeing a few new S14 swimmers make appearances at these championships, but a nod of the head there for Jordan Catchpole. Job done. He'll be in the final tonight.
Yeah, we know Catchpole's in good form. He's having a great season. He was the junior winner of the title for the World Para Series this time out, this season. And he's got a great role model. S14 depth in Great Britain is massive. And so he's excited for his future.
Great Britain had a great record so far in the S14 events, these championships. Jordan Catchpole looking to continue that run. 103.10 qualify him for the final tonight. Jorink should join him as well, 104.25. And a good time from Aymar Parmentier from Belgium, 106.60 should be enough for him to get into that final too. One more heat to come though. We have 7 swimmers in this one. Mark Evers, the world leader this year. He goes in lane number 4. Mark Evers, what a great record he has in the European Championships in this event. Last 3 European Championships, he's taken the gold medal.
Yeah, and he's got such a passionate approach to his swimming. He's always the biggest cheerleader for the rest of his team. There he is, he always brings his crowd with him. Great flag, you can't miss that, can you?
Absolutely not. You can't miss the Dutch at the best of times with their orange shirts on. But Mark Evers, he had a big support team with them. I remember seeing them all when we were in Rio for the Paralympic Games. Just this kind of batch of supporters for Mark Evers there. He's got his own shirts there.
He is a very popular character.
He is.
So, and he's very experienced in his S14 classification, and he has been part of the drive to move it forward. And we're seeing some of the fast times that we've been seeing.
One of the first times that we saw the S14 races back into Paralympic programs was in the World Championships back in 2010, held in the Netherlands. Mark Evers was one of the handful of medalists that the Dutch team had at those championships. Oh, it was very emotional for the Dutch crowd, big crowd there in Eindhoven, and Mark Evers was one of the real stars of those championships, and he's never really gone off the radar. He's just been a star ever since.
Yeah, and he really does thrive on the pressure, and he always seems to manage to rise to the occasion.
Not many people will have 4 consecutive European titles to their name. Mark Evers has 3. This is the beginning of his quest to make it 4 in a row.
Great start there from Mark Evers, but going well also is Vasulyk of Ukraine. We've seen him developing. We saw him have a great first 50 metres in the breaststroke. Really is an emerging talent for the Ukrainian team in the S14 category.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unknown quantity to us. Medalist in the breaststroke, and he also featured in the early stages of that 200 freestyle as well. Evers, though, with 0.1 of a second advantage over Krajnic. And Evers really, really strong in this second half of this backstroke, but Krajnic is not giving it away at all. It's a real head-to-head battle between those two. The yellow cap of Ukraine and no cap for the Netherlands swimmer of Mark Evers, but Krajnic and Evers coming in absolutely together here. It's all going to be on the finish. It might be Evers just in the closing stages, and it is in 101.94. Well, good swim there from these two swimmers. Mark Evers getting the touch. Wasn't much in that at all. Those 2 times faster than that first heat, but Mark Evers will be fastest into the final this evening.
Yeah, and he looks happy with that. He looks relatively comfortable. Backstroke is one of those strokes that even when you do go easy and you don't go all out, the strength that's required from your legs mean that when you get to the end, you always are taking deep breaths to get back that oxygen deficit.
Mark Evers pushed all the way by Vasulyk from Ukraine. Just very close indeed at the end, but Mark Evers just had the reach for that one. 0.4 of a second the difference. Mark Evers will go into the final tonight in first position. Simon Blaise from France, I think, will claim that final position. 109.38 was the 8th fastest time to press into that final. On to the individual medley swims now. 2 heats of the SM13. And we see first Irish swimmer today, Sean O'Riordan, going in lane number 2. The Irish flag's waving for Sean O'Riordan. We saw him yesterday. It's his second swim of these championships, 19-year-olds. Yes, they are 13 class, swimmers with a visual impairment. Garashenko from Ukraine, also making his debut at these championships. He'll go in the centre lane in lane number 4. If the Irish fans will have something to cheer about, can Sean O'Riordan force his way into this final tonight?
Yeah, and then we saw Latika of Finland getting the best reaction time, but Garashenko, the Ukrainian, in lane 4, up and into his stroke, and already got a commanding lead down this first length of the butterfly. We've been treated to some brilliant 200-metre individual medley races already this week, and we know how exciting they can be because so many of the athletes in the pool have varying strengths at different points within the race, so we can see the lead change hand. But here we see debutant Garashenko of the Ukraine. Really doesn't look like there's anyone going to challenge him unless he gets onto the breaststroke, and that really is his weaker stroke.
Well, you can never tell. The breaststroke very often changes things about in an individual medley, but certainly on the first half of this one, he's a man we really haven't seen much at all in any sort of competition across the world, but he's a 20-year-old and he's come into his first major championships and he's really attacking this one in second position. It looked like it was Alhambra from Spain, and Sean O'Riordan has got a little bit of work to do. He's in 5th place, the Irish home swimmer, but Garashenko looking pretty comfortable on the breaststroke. They are catching him. It looks like Lignos in the lane 1 up from him is coming back slightly on the Ukrainian swimmer, so breaststroke maybe a little bit of an Achilles heel for the young Ukrainian, but he is still going to have the lead into the final freestyle leg.
Yeah, and here we see him touching all. He'll be glad to get onto the freestyle leg. The Ukrainians at this meet seem to have a brilliant mix of experience and new debutants, and the debutants really are rising to the occasion and performing well.
Yeah, onto the freestyle, he's stretching away now of Lignos. Also Antti Latika, backstroke specialist from Finland, in 3rd position. O'Riordan's got a little bit of work to do. He's going to try and make this final, but a very, very strong finish on the freestyle. He looked great there. Certainly 3 of his strokes for Garashenko looked absolutely sensational. Lignos will be 2nd, Latika will be 3rd. They should put their place in the final. 4th spot is Alhambra from Spain. And O'Riordan will be in 5th position. 2:36.04 for the Irish swimmer, so we'll have a close eye on the next heat. But that was impressive. Krilo Garashenko. Great start there. And there's the breaststroke. One where he was just pegged back by the others. They might have thought they might have had a glimpse of a possibility of catching him. You'll see the gap was severely reduced there as Lignos came into the turn just as Garashenko was going out. Butterfly was good, backstroke was good, and the freestyle was superb for the 20-year-old Ukrainian. He will take that heat. The first heat in 2:13.96.
Good swimming there, as I said. The Ukrainians putting in a good show. They I would say youngsters, but they're not all so young, these debutants, 20 years old, but putting in a great performance, and you need to, because this next heat is the great Ihar Boki of Belarus in lane 4.
Well, it'll be a brave man would bet against Ihar Boki. He's got 2 gold medals already to his name. These championships, including one that we consider to be one of these weaker events. 100 breaststroke. Ihar Boki, you said to me this morning, he's only 24, Ihar Boki. He's been around, seems to be around forever.
You know, and I think because he's so dominant, we're just so used to hearing his name, and he just always seems to bring his A game.
So close to his own world record in that 100 butterfly 2 days ago. I wonder if he can challenge this record as well. Maybe not this morning, but tonight he might have a crack at this 200 IM record. He's held it for 5 years. 203.79 is the world record mark. The world record holder in the centre of the 5 swimmers here, and straight away up into a lead. His butterfly is absolutely sensational.
Yeah, we see his tall figure is such an advantage. Even after the underwater phase off the block, it's already up with a half body length lead. And here we see now he has got a beautiful butterfly. We know he's in good form, just missing his world record, and really caving out an advantage straight from the off.
Well, keep an eye on these splits. I'm not sure that Boki will be trying to break that record time. Look at the backstroke. Just looks so slow, so kind of languid backstroke, but he's stretching away from the others. Really, really powerful underwater.
He's great, he's powerful, but also he's got that kick that's just constant. He's not put the burners on, he's not going all out, but it's keeping his rhythm, it's keeping him moving, keeping him flat. And as he turns onto this breaststroke leg, even though we would say it is his weakest leg of the 4, we know from the victory in the 100-metre breaststroke that it really isn't that bad.
It's very good indeed for Ihar Boki. He is increasing that lead over Alex Portal from France, one lane up. The Frenchman, the only other swimmer in the picture as they go up towards the final turn. It looks like it might be a Spanish swimmer, Sanz Tamayo in third position. But Ihar Boki into this final turn. On to the freestyle, just a couple of seconds outside world record pace here. So that's a good sign for Ihar Boki for a heat swim.
Absolutely, especially because he's put such a relaxed approach. He's taken a relaxed approach to this front freestyle leg. He took a relaxed approach to the backstroke leg. He didn't go all out off of the diamond block, so it would suggest that he's got a lot more in the tank for later.
Well, he's going to win this by around about 15 metres. Ihar Boki in now in 2:08.11. Very, very impressive stuff from Ihar Boki. Alex Portal, medalist in the butterfly. He will go into that final in second position, third position maybe. 2:16.89 for Alex Portal. And Sanz Tamayo from Spain will progress to the final as well. 2:25.92 for the Spanish swimmer, but there was no catching Ihar Boki. He is going to be the one to beat in that final, and it's going to be really, really tough for anyone, even to get close to Ihar Boki from Belarus.
Yeah, and I think what I love about Ihar Boki is he's always so relaxed. Wherever you see him, whether it's behind the start block, getting on the bus to come to the pool, he just obviously, he's confident, he's quietly confident. He's relaxed and he's enjoying his swimming.
Such a great technician as well. Ihar Boki makes it look so easy. Every one of his strokes looks relaxed. I just think, is he actually trying? But boy, the power he generates is immense. Ihar Boki takes that second heat, 2:08.11. Alex Portal in second. Sanz Tamayo and Talaso Engo will also progress to the final. Men's 50 breaststroke, SB3 back to the top end of the pool. We're back to the 50s again. And here are the swimmers coming out for this first heat. In the middle is Ioannis Kostakis of Greece. Two Spaniards on either side of him. Favourite for this one will be Efrem Morelli in the next heat, but Ioannis Kostakis, well, he's got a decent record over the years. It's his 6th European Championship. There's the Greek swimmer just going in from the side next to the Belarus swimmer Alexei Talai. Kostakis hoping to just put himself into this final. He's an SB2 swimmer. Ioannis Kostakis, this is a combined event, so the SB1s, the 2s and the 3s all swimming together. Only one set of medals, are all swimming up in the SB3 class, but they can set records in their own classifications. Yeah,
and for some of these swimmers, maybe Talai in lane 1 from Belarus, he will be looking more to race against the clock than the other athletes in the pool.
So Kostakis making his way over. Talai, an SB1 swimmer. Kostakis, an SB2 swimmer. The other ones in this field are all SB3s. It's more severe end of the classification. Swimmers will be affected in 3 or 4 limbs, and there's Talai there. He's a European record holder in the SB1 class, so we'll keep an eye on his time. Going there closest to us in number 2.
There we see Ivan Fernandez of Spain in lane 3 and Hamit Demir of Turkey in lane 6 being the 2 athletes to use the diving block, and we can see it's paid off in this initial phase as they had the advantage, but now all of a sudden The race is on between the two Spaniards as we approach the 25-metre mark.
Yeah, Spain 1 and 2 there. Manuel Martinez going there, just heading them out in lane number 5. Ivan Fernandez now just about being caught by the two swimmers inside of him. Hamit Demir from Turkey and Ioannis Kostakis from Greece. Kostakis generally doesn't get away too well off the start, but when they get into the swim, tends to close up. Not sure if he's going to catch the two Spaniards though. It is going to be lane number 5, Manuel Martinez. He's going to be in first, and he touches in 57.52. So decent time for him, under the 1 minute mark. He'd be pleased with that one. Fernandez in next. Kostakis is in third position. The Turkish swimmer Hamit Demir is in now. Just losing his cap at the end, the Turkish swimmer, but keep an eye on Alexei Talay, just coming in now. He is the European record holder in the SB1 class, so Alexei Talay just about to finish. You'll see him there in the replay. Just finishing now as you see the Spanish swimmers just go to the front, and Martinez into the finish. Just a little bit of a glide at the finish for the Spanish swimmer. He'd be happy with that. Under the 1 minute mark. Good swim from Manuel Martinez. 57.52. Here's the time for Alexei Talay. 1:38.59, just 0.2 of a second outside his own European record.
Great time for a morning swim.
Heat 2, Efrem Morelli, the Italian, next to two Israelis on the outside of him. One of them is the champion in the 100 freestyle from 2 days ago, Ami Omer Dadon. What a great swim that young man had 2 days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the Israelis are another team. We've seen an increased number of participants from Israel within this meet, and they started very well on day one with 2 gold medals. Dadon and obviously Imbel Peder.
There's the Ukrainian. Sadov going in lane number 2. Only swimmers in this second heat, all at SB3. Efrem Morelli, the reigning European champion, the reigning world champion. Used to have great tussles against Miguel Luque of Spain, who we saw earlier, moving up to the SB4 class. Efrem Morelli, the Paralympic bronze medalist, and there's the young man, the winner of the 100 freestyle, Ami Omer Dadon, getting in from the side, the 17-year-old. We thought he had a great chance to double up in the 50, but that was a sensational 50 race in the S4 class last night.
It was, had all the drama, and he just ended up not quite getting up to speed quickly enough to come through at the end for a 5th place finish.
Well, we saw young Israeli strong over the 100. Take him a little bit of time to get into his stride in the 50, so I wonder how he'll get on with this one, the 50 breaststroke. Another sprint. Ariel Malyar, an 18-year-old in lane number 6. Dadon there in lane number 5. Efrem Morelli going from the sit start in 4. Andreas Ernhofer in 3 from Austria. Pavlo Masadov from Ukraine in 2.
And interestingly, there we saw Pavlo Masadov of the Ukraine starting, being held by his feet, but he had his head in the water for quite a long time, so he's got to be really good at holding his breath. But as expected, pre-race favourite Efrem Morelli of Italy up and into his stroke. We saw him swim the breaststroke leg in the 4x50 mixed relay for Italy, taking a silver medal last night behind the Ukrainians, and now he is going for himself in the individual event.
There's the European record holder, time 47.67. Set that last year in Berlin. Efrem Morelli going very nicely indeed. He's going to claim his place in the final. Very much the favourite for this title. It's a good time, 50.71 for the Italian. And In second place, it looks like Dadon from Israel in 57.27. So he'll be well placed for the final, while in line the shake-up for the medals. Just behind Martinez from the previous heat. In third place, Ernhofer should claim his place in the final. There's the start, right from the start. The blue cap of Italy went to the front, just never really headed after that.
Yeah, there we see that quick turnover that he has, a wide stroke, not pulling too far back, but making sure that he's constantly propelling forward. And a comfortable heat swim for Morelli.
So Morelli takes that one, 50.71. Omer Dadon from Israel in second. Andreas Ernhofer should be in the final. He's in third position. Still waiting for confirmation of the finalists for that one. We move on to the next event, the women's 50 breaststroke SB3. Just 9 swimmers here taking the start. We've got to lose 1 swimmer. Progress to that final. Again, it's a combined event. SB1s, 2s and 3s all together. Chasing 1 medal. The Irish swimmers, supporters I should say, and the swimmers as well I suppose, waiting for the heats to come. They'll have big medal hope to come a little bit later on in a few races time. The women's 100 breaststroke SB6, Nicole Turner is going to be taking that start. It's a little bit of a delay on these results here, so we can't move on to the next event. The referee's just considering that previous race there. The supporters to wait patiently for the next one. Polish fans. Get myself pumped up for the races. Maybe someone tweeting us, Liz, I think.
I doubt it. I think they've already realised that I am not operating it that well. No one sent help yet. It's not my Twitter account, so it's harder to access.
Oh yeah, that's your excuse.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Here we go. Next heat in the 50 breaststroke SB3. Olga Zbederska in the middle lane there, the Ukrainian medalist yesterday. Hoping to get another medal to her tally today. 4 swimmers in the first heat, 5 swimmers in the second, so just got to lose 1. Here's Zbederska. The most experienced in this field, Zbederska. Gina Butcher. What a good swim she had yesterday, the 17-year-old taking that silver medal, Gina Butcher.
Yeah, first European final, first international final, first international medal. So we know she's in good form, we can expect her to get off the block well.
Yeah, it was really what won her the medal yesterday, that great start.
Yeah, she gave herself the best chance and then managed to hold on as everyone charged back at her in that final 10 metres.
Zbederska get held on her side, not with her head in the water like we saw her teammate in the men's race. Gina Butcher will go from the dive, and again, really good start from the German, giving her an advantage in the early stages.
Yeah, getting that distance, getting ahead, because she doesn't have the paddles on her upper limb, she doesn't have hands, so it's harder to get hold of the water, so she needs the momentum off the block in that distance, because we can already see in the middle lanes, Mikova especially in lane 5 from the Czech Republic, really making great gains with her pull forward.
Yeah, Michova having a very good start there. She made the final yesterday, Dominika Michova, and she had a very good transition from the dive there, better than Olga Swiderska, but Olga Swiderska getting into her stroke. That's the red markers, which signify 15 metres to go for these swimmers. Micheva still holding on pretty well, but Swiderska looks the most powerful in the closing stages here. Don't have to win this head-to-head. They'll both qualify for the final. But Swiderska doesn't want to be headed. She will come home in front. That time at 110.51 for Olga Swiderska. Took her time to get up and into her stroke there, but was the most powerful in the closing stages. Here's Gina Burcher, just with Ines Rocco Rodriguez Martinez. Battle for the third spot, won by Gina Burcher, 126.42 for the German. Could be important when they come to decide on the finalists.
Yeah, and there we saw the lead change hands 3 times, and that's what makes this race really exciting, is that everybody's got different strengths. We saw the Ukrainian there really winding it up as she went down the 50 metres. Very powerful, short, sharp strokes.
There goes Swiderska. Takes it in 110.51. Micheva, great time, 111.65. She might have a chance for the medals tonight. Second heat. Here's Marina Verbova. Favourite for this one, the only swimmer with an entry time under the 1 minute mark. Verbova in that centre lane. There's Veronika Guerenko. She's one of the swimmers not in the SB3 class. We have Veronika Guerenko, SB2 swimmer. Janet Adami from Hungary, closest to us. An SB1 swimmer, so we'll keep an eye on the times for those two to see if they can challenge any of the European records. But right out in front, good start from Marina Verbova, Ukrainian swimmer, unusually wearing the red cap.
Yeah, that red cap of Verbova, they're getting off the wall lightningly quickly and up and into a stroke, and already an advantage. We can see there in lane 5 is Ariola Trimi of Italy, the exquisite freestyle technician, and there we see again another Italian employing this breaststroke technique where they breathe to the side to keep them as flat as possible and keep that momentum moving forward to reduce the resistance. Do you think they practiced that on a training camp?
I think they might have done. We're going to call the Italian method now.
Okay, but yeah, there's no question about the leader. Ukrainians Verbova even in lane 4, coming into this final 5 metres. Again, short, quick strokes, but holding her breath and taking this finish.
Well, she's got a great record in backstroke, Verbova, but she is now the favourite for this breaststroke title here at the European Championships. Ariola Trimi from Italy in second position. And it's a good tussle for third here. Maybe Guerenko possibly just winning that battle with number 6, Gurka Tulisa, the Greek swimmer. Looks like Guerenko might be in there. 137.03, and that'll be enough to qualify her for the final, I think. Janet Odami from Hungary might also be there as well. 142 for the Hungarian swimmer, but Verbova, well, she did dominate that one. That red cap out in front. Marina Verbova will be fastest into the final this evening. Around about 5 seconds or so faster than her teammate Olga Swiderska. And the results here are confirmed. Marina Verbova 105.98, Ariola Trimi in second, Veronika Guerenko in third. They will qualify for the final this evening. Should be a close final. The two Ukrainians looking pretty strong. Ariola Trimi will be strong as well. And a good swim by Micheva. Might be in the shake-up for the medals, the Czech swimmer. Men's 100 breaststroke, SB6. Under a scar beyond that. We saw his support club there in the stands earlier. This is the one they've been waiting for. Anders Bjornstad in lane number 4. Two Israelis in this one as well. Mark Malyar in lane number 5. Is he related to Ariel Malyar, Liz?
I do not know, but we will try and find out.
That's good. It's only the Italians next to us, the Israeli.
It could just be a name like Jones.
It could be.
Or
Could be.
Toad in Hungary.
Oh, Toad, yes.
We've been learning about that, haven't we?
We have. We've seen a few Toads over this week. Oh, Johnson.
Yep, Johnson's quite common too. Noble, not so much.
Not so much. But not all the nobles are related.
Or that noble.
Thank you for that, John. There's Malyar. It's Mark Malyar this time. Next to his teammate Valinsky. Thijs van Hofwegen from the Netherlands. Tall figure. Anders Bjornstad in lane number 4. Just being held by his coach at the start.
Yeah, and he does have that lower leg impairment, and he's got quite a strong upper body, so the weight could tip him over on the block, hence why he's allowed that assistance to keep him upright and straight, so that he can get the best start possible off the block. Obviously, his assistant's not allowed to push him, just there to steady him. The best start there actually coming from Mark Malyar, of Israel in lane 5, as we see him charge down the 50 metres. But that powerful stroke of Anders Bjornstad from Norway that we know and we love is starting to come through towards this end of this first 50 metres.
Yeah, it's Malyar. Good start there. Bjornstad just 1/100th ahead of Van Hofwegen. Oh, trying to come back. And the Israeli swimmer, Malyar had a very good turn there. Very quick off the wall.
Yeah, he has the advantage. He's got the stronger legs than Bjornstad. Bjornstad doesn't use his legs. We can see from this aerial shot that they're dragging behind him. The actual best technical kick there coming from Hofwegen in lane 3. But here now we see Bjornstad starting to make his move, gathering his momentum. We've seen it a number of times, many athletes gaining pace as the 50 metres goes on, and they've got a tight tussle for who's going to get the touch.
Malyar just digging in really well here, and he is going to take it. Mark Malyar in 1:25.40. Bjornstad in second, 1:25.91. So half a second between these two swimmers, and Mark Malyar would be delighted with that one. Great time, entry time of 1:28. He's improved that to 1:25. So we'll take that first heat. Big smile on the face of the Israeli swimmer there. Yoav Valinsky was 4th place in that heat. He's given himself a chance of making that final. So the two Israelis going well, but a very good start. Great reaction off the blocks from Mark Malyar.
Yeah, and that really set him up then to be chased down, and he showed great strength to hold on there at the end. From the favoured, it's fair to say, Bjornstad of Norway in lane 4. That's setting up to be a great race for the final.
Well, there's Mark Malyar showing his strength in the closing stages. Bjornstad has medalled at the major championships before, European and world medalist for Norway. He looks over, just behind the man from Israel. Mark Malyar, 1:25.40, it was close. He gets in ahead of Anders Bjornstad, Thijs van Hofwegen. Valinsky will have to wait, 1:35.73. We'll have to see what this next heat does. Except with a good chance of making that final, just 5 in this next heat. 2 Ukrainians, including Evgeny Bordaiko, world record holder. Betsy Vaughn, good swim in the individual medley yesterday.
Yeah, and he looked really strong down the breaststroke leg of that race. So, I mean, it's really difficult to see past Evgeny Bordaiko of the Ukraine in lane 4. He has taken this event massively forward, giant leaps this event has experienced. For a long time it hovered around the 1:30 mark, 1:29, and then Bordaiko really dropped it closer to the lower end of the 1:20s, and obviously now holds the world record at 1 minute and 18.71 seconds which he set at the Rio Paralympic Games.
Bodaiko just tallying up the medals that he had won. 27 medals before coming into this competition. He's got a handful already from day one of the competition. So round about in the 30 mark here for Bodaiko. Can he add another one? We'll have to wait till tonight to see if he can or not. There's William Soderling from Finland into Betsy Vaughn from Hungary. 18-year-olds, Soderling, Ivan, also Andrei Trusov, also 18 years of age. The oldest man in the field, Bodaiko at 24.
Wowza.
That bright blue cap in the middle. Bodaiko, his teammate up there in lane 6, Bodan Hronenko. Good record in the major championships. Hronenko was an important man in the relay teams. Hronenko always seemed to feature in those Ukrainian relay teams.
Yeah, there we saw that great underwater shot of Bodaiko. He's impaired in all 4 limbs, but he really drives his breaststroke forward from his hip movement. He's a very good butterfly swimmer. Similar crossover of technique to a point from your core when swimming breaststroke, and he really maximises that undulation to get that power driving forward, as we see going into this first turn, but he has got company.
That's right, next to him is his teammate Trusov. Saw them have a good tussle in the 50 the other day, the 50 butterfly. Gold and silver medalist. And Trusov looks strong in the closing stages of that 50 butterfly, but Bodaiko looks like he's got this one under control. Very, very impressive swim so far for the 2 Ukrainians. It's a real tussle for the 3rd spot there. Betsy Vaughn, Bodan Hronenko just battling that one out, but Bodaiko is going to come in front here. Very much the favourite for this one. And he touches in the low 120s, 122.29. With Trusov in 2nd position, 127. So Bodaiko faster than that previous heat. Trusov just a little bit slower than heat number 1. Betsy Vaughn wins the tussle for 3rd spot, 131.14, just ahead of Hronenko. Soderling is going to be the final man to finish, to claim himself a place in the final. I'm not sure if the Finnish swimmer is going to do that, but Bodaiko dominant in that one, never really under threat.
Yeah, no, that trademark blue cap that he has worn pretty much his entire career. We've got used to seeing it forge ahead, and there he looked so comfortable, but then he gets to the end, touches the wall, and the time is really impressive. So he's just so experienced at 24 years old, and I'm sure he can add a lot more medals to that huge number already.
He's won 3 titles in this 100 breaststroke. 122.29 for Bodaiko. That was actually faster than he won the title in 2016, so it shows you the quality of that swim. He'll go into the final in 1st position. Well, the women's 100 breaststroke SB6. I have the former Paralympic champion next to me in this event, Elizabeth Johnson.
Best event on the programme. Slightly biased, maybe.
Well, it could be the best event for the Irish hosts here. Nicole Turner goes in 5, next to Great Britain's Ellie Simmonds.
Here we see the athletes walking out, and there's definitely now a type of swimmer that seems to suit this classification group and this event very well. That short stature, powerful stroke, and also in lane 2, it's Louise Bast Abbey of Denmark, the double length amputee. See, Charlotte Henshaw of Great Britain, also a double length amputee, who did so well in this event for so many years. So the president is set, and all of these athletes have great role models that have gone before them.
There's Ellie Simmonds, disappointed to be out of the medals in the 200 medley yesterday. Breaststroke, not one of her favoured events, but she has been European champion in this event back in 2014. Simmonds would love to get into the medals for this one. Nicole Turner, though, for Ireland, up there with a white cap in lane number 5. She would love to be on the podium again. We haven't seen a European medal so far for the hosts, but Nicole Turner's got a great chance. Silver medalist, the last European Championships back in 2016. So Nicole Turner and Ellie Simmonds leading them out.
Yeah, and they're going head-to-head here, stroke for stroke. Ellie Simmonds was never a breaststroker, but she's a phenomenal 200-metre individual medley swimmer, and her 100 breaststroke really did develop when she made a conscious effort to make that stronger for her 200 metres individual medley. And actually, it paid off because she started making podiums at international events in this competition and in this stroke. And there we see her taking that time, 48.67. Just over half a second ahead of Nicole Turner now. That endurance that she's got from the 400-metre freestyle showing through down this second 50 metres. She'll really want to make amends for missing out on the podium last night. It took 3 personal best times to beat her and keep her off that podium. And it's important to remember that she did have a whole year out of the pool after the Rio Paralympic Games. People expect so much from Ellie Simmonds, but she still is only 23 years old.
Yeah, great expectations on the shoulder of Ellie Simmonds, and she is living up to them here. She's going really well in this first heat of this 100 breaststroke. Nicole Turner just in the wake of Simmonds, but Simmonds is going to take this one. It's going to be a decent time. Simmonds' best time of the season, 1:41.02, and she's just over that, 1:43.40. She eased in to the wall there. Nicole Turner just behind her. That pleases the Irish fans. And Simmonds and Turner will be in the final this evening. Only 5 swimmers in the heats to come. Looks like Zavali from Ukraine, 21-year-old in 3rd spot, 1:53 for Zavali. And Jasmine Butler from Germany in 4th position. It was a good start from the 2 pre-race favourites, Ellie Simmonds and Nicole Turner, once they were into their strokes, stretched away from the rest of the field. And there is Ellie Simmonds, that black cap of Great Britain. Yeah,
she does there. You see that front on shot, just how low she keeps that chin to the water. She's really developed that breaststroke stroke to minimise the pause, and it powered through at the end to take that heat.
Final swimmer just making her way in. It's Danish swimmer Louise Bastavi. Time of 2:52, just outside her entry time. Ellie Simmonds takes that first heat, 1:43.40. Nicole Turner in 2nd spot for the hosts, Ireland. Now this second heat coming up very shortly. See world record holder, that is 16-year-old Maisie Summers-Newton of Great Britain.
It's very difficult to see past Maisie Summers-Newton for this event. She's having a phenomenal season, coming off the back of a world record last night. It'll just be about how much sleep she got last night after the excitement of that result. But you know, she's just got to get through this heat this morning. She's got company in lane 5 from London 2012 Paralympic champion Victoria Sucio of the Ukraine. So it could open up to be an exciting race, but really for me, this is all about how fast Maisie Summers-Newton can go in this event.
Oh, we saw her go very fast in the individual medley heats yesterday. Just wonder how far she's going to go in these heats this morning. There's Satsova, the champion back in London in 2012. There's Maisie Summers-Newton, big smile on the face of Maisie Summers-Newton. Family were here to support her yesterday. I'm sure they'll be here in the stands today. I can see them right opposite us, so big fan club for Maisie Summers-Newton here. the Swedish swimmer Ida Andersson-Wolf. And 2 Ukrainians in this one, Nina Kozlova alongside Viktoria Tsatsova and Sabina Weber-Treiber from Austria completes the lineup. Tsatsova, well, it needs to be seen what Tsatsova can do. Sometimes you see her go really fast in the heats, sometimes not so fast. The Ukrainian, their tall figure in the centre. But there is Maisie Summers-Newton, the 16-year-old. Great year she's had, Maisie Summers-Newton. And what a reaction time from the world record holder in lane 4.
Yeah, we always expect Tsatsova to be left on the block. She's got that slightly slower reaction time, but she does something really special under the water because she's got a really powerful stroke, and she's always keeping one eye on the people around her. And there we can see Maisie Summers-Newton as she powers ahead, already will be in Tsatsova's view line. But Maisie Summers-Newton, what she does really well is there's just no pause in her stroke. She's got the power, the speed, and the efficiency to just keep moving forward. And there we see that great whip leg kick that she has. It's just powering her to the wall down this first 50 metres.
Yeah, at the halfway point there, 43.43. I can tell you, Liz, that's inside world record pace. That is really, really swift for Maisie Summers-Newton in these early stages. Second position was Tsatsova, third place Nina Kozlova, but no one really touching Maisie Summers-Newton. She is absolutely on fire.
Yeah, and she's just got such a high turnover. And she's 16 years old. She's just done her GCSEs. She's loving her swimming, and that is when you get the most out of it, when you want to get in, you want to train. You can't wait for the alarm to go off in the morning. And she's just loving what she does and learning from her idol, Ellie Simmonds.
Maisie Summers-Newton into the last 15 metres now. The world record stands at 1:33.92. And Maisie Summers-Newton is not going to be far away from this at all. Let's have a look at the clock here. 1:33.92 has just slipped by. Boy, what a swim though for Maisie Summers-Newton. 1:34.67, of a second outside the world record in the heats, with Tsatsova in second position. Third place will go to Kozlova, but Maisie Summers-Newton, boy, what a talent.
Yeah, you know, and she's swimming really well, and she's got 4 good stroke, and she's got a good head on her shoulders. She doesn't get phased. She's got a great training partner at home in Northampton, and Ellie Robinson. She's got a great role model and idol that she gets to be on the same squad as in Ellie Simmonds. Really, Great Britain have always done well in this event, and they're continuing that legacy.
Great Britain have won the last 4 European Championships. Henshaw, Johnson, Simmonds, Henshaw again. Could it be 5 in a row for the GB team? Maisie Summers-Newton will be in pole position for the final. 1:34.67 ahead of the 2 Ukrainians. Getting towards the end of this session. Just a couple more events to come. 100 breaststroke, SB7 is the first that we have to see here. Liz Johnson loving this breaststroke session today.
Yep, always breaststroke, beststroke. Maybe again a bit biased, but you know, breaststroke day is always the best for me, just because I understand it the most.
SB7 swimmers out there. Here is Torben Schmidtke, German swimmer again. You see some of these swimmers here subject to reclassifications. From swimming up classes. Torben Schmidtke, previously in the SB6 class, swimming in the SB7s. We have 6 swimmers in this first heat, 6 swimmers in the second heat. As Tobias pull up that red cap, 2 Germans in the middle. Carl Forsman, the Swede, going in line number 3. Line number 2, Ricardo Soares, closest to us from Portugal. 19 years of age. A teenager in this one, the Belgian Islam Dokaev. Up there in lane 6. Manja Panovic from Serbia completes the lineup right up at the top there in lane number 7.
There we see from that underwater shot, great contrast again in these athletes' strokes. Torben Schmidt powering through with those strong arms, that flat stroke, and that little leg kick, just one leg kicking to balance him out more than anything. It's his arms driving his stroke. Tobias Pollap, his compatriot in lane 5, got off the block well, but more renowned for his 50 metres butterfly and 50 metre freestyle speed. And here we see Sweden's Carl Forsman in lane 3 going strongly as well.
Well, Carl Forsman and Torben Schmidtke, as I said, have moved up the classifications. They've been successful in their previous classification. Torben Schmidtke has been a serial medalist in this event in the SB6 class, medals in Paralympic Games, World Championships, and in the last 2 Europeans as well. And he's looking to continue that run. The 2 Germans are stretching away now, and Torben Schmidtke looking pretty relaxed. He knows that he has to finish in the top 2 places as he will comfortably qualify for that final ahead of Tobias Pollap. So Torben Schmidtke will come home in front. Entry time of 127.18. He's in the 127 range, 127.99. So good swim from the German. Both Germans actually. Tobias Pollap 129.89. Bang on his entry time, and in 3rd spot it is Carl Forsman. So the 3 favourites should have guaranteed their place in the final. 2 Germans happy there with their swims.
Yeah, great dominance there from Schmidtke in that race. He knew what he had to do. He knew he was going to be slightly slower off the block, but he makes the most of that pull that he gets from that strong upper body and launches himself in the water. And we can see that he gets the height, but the resistance minimised, but then that allows him to keep moving forward at a great rate of knots.
Wins it by a couple of strokes in the end. Torben Schmidtke and Tobias Pollap 1 and 2 for the German team. They will go into the final this evening. Carl Forsman should make it to 136.88 with Dokaev in 4th, 144.24. European record holder Simon Boer from the Netherlands. He's in this 2nd heat. He goes in lane number 4. So he's making the way out now, waiting for the previous swimmers just to clear starting area. The Germans just walking past there. Here come the swimmers for the next heat. Led out by the Croatians. Alo Knizovic going lane 2. Yuri Bazinski back in the water again. Just saw him a short while ago. And Simon Boer, the European record holder, champion in this event back in 2014. He's a medalist in the World Championships as well. Netherlands swimmer, the only Latvian swimmer here. Jurijs Semjonovs will go in lane number 5. There's the orange of the European record holder, Simon Boer. 4th place in the Paralympic Games. Disappointed to miss out the medals there in Rio.
He will, though, be the favourite to take the gold medal in this event at these European Championships.
There's the Turkish swimmer Mustafa Sağ. And Bazinski going back in after his 50 freestyle swim earlier in the S8 class. Breaststroke classes can be different from the freestyle classes. You don't quite often see swimmers drop down a class for the breaststroke.
Yeah, because breaststroke is a leg dominant stroke and it very much relies on a different mechanism and movement to the S-strokes, the butterfly, the backstroke, and the freestyle, which is why you would see someone like Simon Bure, who doesn't have any feet, so he's at a disadvantage in this event compared to the rest of his category. As we can see from this underwater shot, the way that he doesn't get that usual propulsion from his feet, as the majority of people in the SB8 classification would get, which is why we then see him in the SB7 category.
Semjonov's off to a good start there, 39.12 for the Latvian. Simon Bure just behind him, and also going well, Brzezinski with that blue cap of Ukraine. These three should make it through comfortably to the final. Good power for Simon Bure as he gets down this second lane.
Yeah, and we saw off the start Brzezinski and Semyonovs, who were flanking Bure, have the better reaction time, have the better distance, because they did have that propulsion from the legs. But Simon Bure, as we come to see so often from these athletes with lower leg impairments, really building through the entire race and looking powerful now as he comes into the final 5 metres.
Well, good swim for a European record holder here, and he will touch first in 121.22. So season's best for Simon Bure, and he will take that second heat. Semjonov's Latvian will be happy with this swim, 125.97. Also an improvement on his entry time. Netherlands swimmer really well there. Congratulate his opponent there. Semjonov really dropped off the pace in the second 50. He'll be in with a shout, challenging for the medals. Two Germans from the first heat, also dipping under the 130 mark, but great shots here, underwater shots, just showing the style of Simon Bure.
Yeah, and the way that he whips those legs round, but it's really difficult when you don't have your feet then to push against that water and propel you forward, and that's just why he's got such a strong upper body. And he uses it to his advantage and maximises the strength that he gets launching forward into that wall on a full stroke.
Well, he'll take that one in that time of 121.22. He'll be fastest into the final. He'll be the favourite. Julius Semjonovs from Latvia. He'll be second fastest into that final, with the two Germans in third and fourth position for this evening. Down to the last set of heats now, Liz. Not breaststroke.
No, but men's 100 metres butterfly for the S9 category will have lots of excitement. 3 heats mean that there's a lot at stake. Can't hang around in the morning, so we will be in for some exciting racing.
Christian Vincitic from Croatia, medalist in the big championships before. European medalist back in 2014, also a world medalist as well. Big hope for the medals for the Croatian team. Speaking to Ferdinand Major, one of the coaches the other day, hoping that the Croatians can sneak onto the medal podium. This is one of their big hopes here. And in lane number 4, there he is, Christian Vincitic. Two Germans outside him, Malte Braunschweig and Adam Karas. There is Karas, 17-year-old, 18-year-old Malte Braunschweig. These are the 3 that should challenge. Chalkanov from Belarus goes in lane number 2. 17-year-old Guillermo Miguel Hernandez for Spain, right at the top there, goes in lane number 6. Again, the S9 class affected in one limb. We'll see the leg impairments against the arm impairments.
Yeah, and we would expect the athletes with arm impairments to get off the block more quickly and more powerfully, but then once up and into the stroke, it tends to be the athletes with a leg impairment, especially on this butterfly, that often get through and take lead. And there we see in lane 2 the Belarusian going really well. We know the Belarusians are great visually impaired athletes, but it's nice to see them in the S9 events too, but actually getting touched out by 1/100 of a second from pre-event favourite for this heat, Vincitic of Croatia in lane 4.
Yeah, Vincitic going well there in the centre lanes. It's so pleased the Croatian team, the Croatian supporters looking strong in this second half. Croatians have had a good summer. World Cup exploits. I wonder if they can follow that up with a medal here in Dublin European Championships. Their man is looking good here, 102.46, a good swim from Visually-Impaired. Bang on his entry time, it's 3/100ths different. Good finish there from Malte Braunschweig, taking him ahead of Schalkenau. So Malte Braunschweig in second position there in that heat. Visually-Impaired though takes it, 102.46, looking in good shape there for the final. He'll definitely be a contender on form like that.
Yeah, and Schalkenau had a good first 50 metres, but he really paid the price for that down that second 50, tailing off there. But Visually-Impaired just looked strong and comfortable the entire way down that ring. And he came into the finish looking very controlled. A little short from the wall, so you can tidy that up for tonight and he'll find a bit more time.
Visually-Impaired takes that first heat. 2 more heats to come, but Croatian will be happy with his performance and should make the final with that time. Well, some home interest in this one. Barry McClements goes in lane 5 next to Jose Antonio Maria Alcaraz of Spain. Those two will be the favourites in this second heat. Barry McClements, we first saw him in the Europeans back in 2016. And he's just going on from strength to strength, representing the Ireland team here. He also went to the Commonwealth Games for Northern Ireland. Swam out in the Gold Coast earlier this year. Made the final a couple of times in the Gold Coast. Wonder if you can make the final here at the European Championships. There's Latin-Maki, Maria Alcaraz, McClements, the home favourite. Can the home crowd lift him? Didn't get a particularly good reaction to the gun. The good 2 legs of Latin-Maki, the sprinter from Finland, was off the fastest.
Yeah, and then Latin-Maki taking this out down the first 50 metres. It's really difficult when you're a sprinter not to play to that advantage, but the balance is to try and hold on and control it. And already we see Jose Antonio Maria Alcaraz, as we know so well, he's strong down the second 50, and he's hitting this turn in prime position, 29.09, only 0.24 ahead of the local, Barry McClements. So Ireland are going to start waving their flags. The noise is coming from the home crowd. They'll carry him down. But Maria Alcaraz here also looking strong.
Barry McClements going great here. The home swimmer giving the Spanish swimmer a real run for his money here. Maria Alcaraz just missed out on the medals in the 100 freestyle. He'll be hoping to target this 100 fly, but Barry McClements is giving him a great race here in the heat, and it may well go to the Irishman. Oh, it's close, and the Irishman just misses out by 0.17 of a second. But what a good swim from the young man, Barry McClements, the 16-year-old. A great swim, just pipped at the end by Maria Alcaraz, the great Spanish champion. But a very good swim from McClements there, and that should put him safely in the final.
Yeah, Maria Alcaraz, that'll do his confidence some good to take that win, but Barry McClements really took it to him, and I think that's the great thing when you're a teenager and you've got these opportunities to get this international experience. He would have got so much out of going to the Commonwealth Games, Barry McClements. A really close finish there, and it really did just count down to that touch. And Maria Alcaraz was just carrying a bit more speed into the wall.
Maria Alcaraz wins that one by 17/100ths of a second from Barry McClements of Ireland. Those two should be safely into the final this evening. Who is going to join them? Final swim that we have this morning. Federico Morlacchi, Simone Barlam, 2 Italians in 4 and 5. Well, we looked at the 2 Italians last night, both on the medal podium for the 100 freestyle. It's Maël Corniche of France, Jacobo Garrido Brun from Spain there. Here is the world record holder in this event, Federico Morelli of Italy. We saw the difference in stature, the difference in height between Simone Barlam and Federico Morelli.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what Barlam can do here, because he was phenomenal last night in that freestyle race.
Two Italians in the centre. Rolovich, Poland in 6. Volpert from Israel in lane number 7. Two Italians will just be looking to secure this final spot. We've seen Morelli do this before. He knows exactly what he's got to do. He knows exactly where he wants to be in this final. We've seen him win European titles from outside lanes before, but this is his event. He's won the last 2 European titles in this 100 butterfly. He is the world record holder, and he is looking good in the opening stages here. Lane number 4, Morelli just coming off that turn well ahead of Barlam.
Yeah, and he did well to get on that podium in the 100 metres freestyle, sneaking that bronze medal. He's confident in this butterfly. He enjoys this butterfly, and he knows they're just going to get in, get a good lane for the final. But as you said, we've seen Morelli win from all over the pool.
102.46, fastest so far for Vincetic, and it's still going to be the fastest. Morelli 103.20. He will be 4th, I think, out of all the qualifiers, but means absolutely nothing there. Morelli has got a lot more in the tank. Expect him to go a lot faster tonight. Barlam will also join him in the final, 103.77. And Narorovich 105.40. Well, just sneak into that final as well. Morelli and Barlam looking comfortably in the centre.
Yeah, very different strokes. Obviously, their statures mean that they have to swim it differently. Morelli's got that quicker, shorter stroke. Barlam, it's difficult when you're that tall, swimming butterfly, to get those long levers over quickly. So it's more about the power for him, but setting up for an interesting race tonight.
Two Italians in 1 and 2 in that 3rd heat will qualify for the final. Narorovich has just scraped into the final, as has Jacobo Garrido-Brun, I think in 7th position, with the Frenchman Mio Cornic just missing out. So should be a cracking final, that. Just over a second separating the top 5 swimmers. All to play for this final session. So this was the final heat of this morning. Let's just take a look back and see what we had this morning. 400 freestyle S11 started off with comfortable qualification there for Viktor Smirnov of Ukraine, claiming that place in the final. And also good swim from 14-year-old Mikhailo Serbin, who might challenge his more experienced colleague. Fans were out in force for Marco Maria Delfin. He didn't disappoint them. He took the first heat of the men's 100 breaststroke S5, but the world record holder will be the favourite, Antonio Once-Bertran from Spain. It was a close contest between the 12-year-old Hungarian Evelyn Saras and Verona Schott from Germany in that first heat of the SB5. But the one to beat again, the Paralympic champion Jelisaveta Mareshko, looked comfortable, finishing ahead of Sarah Louise Rung in the 2nd heat. SB4 classification, well, we had a very close contest between 3 swimmers there, with a good win for the Israeli swimmer Bashar Halabi. The Israelis really performing well at these championships. Francesco Bocciado employing that Italian breathing technique on the breaststroke that Liz Johnson likes so much. Bocciado will be fastest into the final. Stephen Clegg had a good swim, the Great Britain swimmer, ahead of Yaroslav Denisenko. That'll be a good feather in the cap of the young Great Britain man. But the fastest man in the pool, Maxim Varaksa, can he keep his great run of wins in the S1250 freestyle going? Kelgolis and Jacob Grove. They shared the spoils in that first heat. Very different techniques, but hitting the wall at exactly the same time. But Yuri Brzezinski was comfortable, taking the second heat, 28.05. He should go faster in the final this evening. Xenia Francesca Palazzo will be looking to make it 3 gold medals tonight in a row. 3 days, gold medal a day. Not a bad record for her, but Claire Sucio has been in the medal podium with her. And she is looking forward to that final tonight. Men's 100 backstroke saw a good swim from Great Britain's Jordan Catchpole, trying to keep the 100% record in the S14 class of the Great Britain team going. But he will be up against the champion Mark Avers. He's trying to make it 4 European titles in a row, and he took that second heat to be in pole position for the final. In the S13, we saw a young Ukrainian 20-year-old Milo Garashenko take that first heat, but the great man Ihar Boki looked absolutely supreme in the second heat. And will he challenge his own world record tonight? I think he might. He might be in for something spectacular. World records held 5 years ago. Could go tonight. The SB3 class, 2 Spanish swimmers, 1 and 2. Very good swim for Manuel Martinez. Take that first heat under the 1 minute mark. But Efrem Morelli, the Italian, already a medalist this week in the relay. He'll look to be following that up with another medal tonight and another European title. Good swim there from Dominika Micheva from the Czech Republic, just overhauled in the closing stages by Olga Zviderska of Ukraine. Zviderska takes that first heat, but her teammate Marina Verbova in that red cap was looking good in that second heat and will be the favourite when they come to the final tonight, just in ahead of Ariola Trimi from Italy. Ukraine also going well in this 100 breaststroke, but in the first heat, bit of a surprise. Mark Malja swimming well, finishing ahead of Andreas Skar Bjornstad. And the Israeli swimmer delighted with that swim. Can he go faster in the final? He's going to have to if he's going to challenge this man, Yevgeny Bodaiko from Ukraine. Swam well to finish ahead of his teammate Andrei Trusov in that second heat. Well, what can we expect in the women's SB6? Liz Johnson is looking forward to this one. We almost got something spectacular. 2 Great Britain swimmers swimming very well. Ellie Simmonds looking to try and make amends for missing out on the medals yesterday. She won the first heat, but Maisie Summers-Newton, her Great Britain teammate, was absolutely sensational. Less than a second outside her own world record, and who would bet against that going tonight? Maisie Summers-Newton absolutely on fire. 100 breaststroke, so 2 Germans take it to the rest of the field in the first heat. Torben Schmidtke and Tobias Pollap, 1 and 2. European record holder Simon Boer from the Netherlands stroked away in the final stages, and he will start as firm favourite. Season best for the Netherlands swimmer, looking to go faster in that final. The final event is 3 heats of the men's 100 butterfly. Big Croatian medal hope in the S9 class, Christian Vincetic, with the local hero Barry McClements just missing out in the second heat to Jose Maria Alcaraz of Spain, and the 2 Italians dominating the final swim that we saw, with Federico Mollacchi, the world record holder, taking that final heat. Well, it has been a great morning of action this morning. It's day 3, the heat session. We expect the finals to be really spicy tonight. We hope you can join us at 6 o'clock local time here in Dublin. Don't miss it. It has been a great morning. It's going to be a great evening. So please join us tonight, 1800 hours local time here in Dublin. We wish you a very good day and goodbye for now.